So hello everyone, we are live on Twitch. So welcome to another session of recreational programming. So today we'll be creating a basic chat app using this library. So it's basically created by me. So we'll be using this library in PHP and to create a basic chat app, right? So let's get started. So let me create. So it will be on core PHP. So chat app. Let me open it into the PHP Storm. So I have opened it in the PHP Storm. So let's get started. So I'll just do composer require Sockeon/Sockeon. So the version 2.3.1 will be installed. So I will add some auto loads here. Load PHR4 will be app our SRC. So we'll just create a new folder SRC. Just to composer install. So it will automatically generate the autoload files. So now what we can do, we'll just create a git ignore here. So we'll have a vendor here. So let's get starting creating a basic server for the WebSocket and the HTTP. So Sockeon supports both HTTP and WebSocket protocol. So I'll just create a new PHP file here, index.php, or we can call this server.php. Now we'll just initialize some auto loads, require ones. So vendor autoload.php. So let's dive into docs. So it is the version 2 docs. So if I do in the white mode, I think it will be visible. So we have done the installation of via the composer. After that, we will create a basic server config class and set some of the configs like host, port, etc. So what we can do is now we can create a server config instance, and so now I will just, I think we have it in, this is the AI one, inline completions or something. Completion. So I'll just turn off the completion. So here we have to pass different parameters, or we can do server config set host to 127.0.0.1, and we'll set server config set port to 6001, right? So we can also set server config set debug. So we'll set the debug to true. It will be true, right? So we have created some of the server configs. So later we'll do some course config too For now we'll just have 3 configs set, or there will be by default set. So after that we'll create a new server instance, new server, and we'll pass the server config to the constructor. After that we can do just server run. So this will be the basic server logic for the Sockeon. So let me try running it. PHP server.php. The server is starting and listening on this one. So 127.0.0.1 current 6000. The server is listening on this one. So you can have both HTTP and WebSocket feature. If I go to the browser and do 127.0.0.1 colon 6001. Sorry. So we have here not found, so we don't have any routes, HTTP routes, so it's saying not found. We can later create it, right? So now what we can do is we'll just initially create some of the front end for our chat app, and we'll implementing the events for that, right? So do we have to log in? Let me log in. I think so. I think it's activated now. Right. So now what we can do, PHP src slash server.php, so it is running. So now what we can do is we'll just first create some of the front-end assets, static assets. So what you can do, I can do here a directory, create a directory public, so I can load some of the file like index.html. So this will be our the chat page, right? So for now, so we'll just write hello from Sockeon, right? So what we can do now, we can run this externally, but let me try to use Sockeon to statically load these assets. So let me create a controller for that. So we'll just create a folder here, controllers, and we'll create a new PHP class, static controller. So the use of this controller will be serving the static files like assets or HTML pages or JavaScript, CSS, etc. So for this, the static controller must have to extend the socket controller provided by the Sockeon, right? So now we can have a dynamic function generate the routes, right? So public function serve static files. So we'll have request. So request class is banded here. So now what we can do is we can make a dynamic route to serve the files. So what we can do is http route. Now it is the method. So in the get method, we'll solve everything in the get method. So now this is the path. So what we can have like this. So PHP 8.4. So can we have like this? Let me try. So what we can do is we'll just print our for now request. I think I will get param. and it will be the file. We'll just exit from here. So I've created a function, static files, and bind it to the HTTP route and the get method. So I have to register the static controller on the server. So what I can do is I can just do server, I think register controllers we have. So we have the static controller. So later we'll be passing more of the controllers. So let me restart it. If I do here, yeah, so it's printing something, the file you have entered, and it's just printing it, right? So what we can do is we can just remove this and test if it's working for home page or not, right? So I just don't remember, does this support like this? Nope. So we have to create a separate one for the index.html, right? So public function serve home page, we'll just do request and we'll just bound it to the slash, the get method, and it will be slash. So right, so while serving we have to just get the content of the index.html and render it, right? So for that, what we can have a function, private function get static content. So we'll pass here the file name. It should return something like array or something. We'll just return response, right? So now what we can do is so first we have to read the file. Let me call this function here, and just call it private static function. So self get static content, and it will be basically the index.html. It'll just return it. I think it will be just string. Similarly here, just to return self get static content, and the content will be request and parameter like file. So they will just return string, right? So now what we can do is first we check if that file exists or not. So I think we have file exist. Let me post the path will be the from current directory. So we'll go one step back here. So still a step back and set public. We'll be bounding it with the file, like this will be the full path of the file, right? Then if we check if path file doesn't exist, then what we can do is we'll just return response. I think not found here. We have not found. So what it dot is written. So it should be the response. should be the response. Else we have to get the file contents. So content will be the file get contents and path, and we'll just return response to we have I think we have new response, right? New response. We have this body here, and we have the content, and I have set content type to for now textless HTML. Can I try it now? So it is serving this file from the index.html, right? So you can get here we have this content. So if I try to create a new normal CSS file, test.css, so it should solve that too, right, according to our logic. So test.css, so it's not found. So our study we have to do this. Let me check. So we have the test.css loaded, but it is serving as the CSS. But now we have to get the file type, and according to the file type we have to change the our content type, response content type. So we need a new function, private function get content type, string type. So we'll just return string. So we'll just do return, we'll just using the extension. So return match match extension, which extension is the HTML, so it will be the text/HTML. Similarly, if it's the CSS, I think it's text.css. Similarly for the JS, I think let me search content type for CSS and JS. So text/CSS and text/JavaScript. So it will be JavaScript. So if to do like do extension, so PHP get file extension from path. So we can use the path info, this one, to get the extension, right? So this will return the extension, and we'll pass it to, so we'll make it just static. And now what we can do is we can just call the self get content type and pass it here. So if I restart the server, so it should load. Still it's loading its text/css. So let me check. Just I'll print. We have logger, right? We can use the logger here. So just printer, so extension. It's the CSS. show text slash css. I think so. Response equal to new response of content and return response content type to this one. Still loading it as a document. So it's loading right now. What we can do? So we have to set the header content type to, right? So now what we can do, this will be the body. I think this will be the body, and in headers it's the array, right? In the headers there's array, so can have content type will be this one, and content type will be the content type, and we'll pass the content type here. So will it work? Still loading at edge. Can I try doing like this? So if I try to test.css and just in the home page, if I try this, so here it is loading it at ch test.css SSLC, so it's okay. So now we've created a controller to serve a static file and to serve the home page, right? So let me check it here. So we have routing here, HTTP routing. Can I have something like optional parameter? Optional param. Optional header of authentication. Optional nullable. Something like this we don't have. If I remove this and just print hello here, will it call it on home page? So not, so it will not be called. So oh sorry, it's being called. So what we can do is if a file is null, so the file is null, Then what we can have is we can have the path to be the index.html, and else we will have the path to be the dynamic one. It's a semicolon here. Now what's happening here? So file, so it's calling for 5 icon, not for the home page, right? I just forgot we have implemented routing. So can we check like this? Path parameters like this. I don't think I have implemented that, so let's stick to the old one. So it's okay for now. So it's working. So we have successfully loaded the static files using the Sockeon library. So now let's do some front end. So now we'll just create a chat interface here. So I am very bad at designing, so I'll just create a div. I will have, let's call it main, and we will have a div here and another div here. So you will have your the input. So ID will be the message. We'll have a button here and will be the send. So we'll have like this. So flags, so we will be using elegant CSS, so we will be using the tailwind. So tailwind CDN, just use the CDN one. So we'll just have a flex. It will be the flex call. Justify center and items center, and width will be 100%. So it will be full. So like this. So let me create a border, some clash border. So we'll see it later. So it will be border gray 200 like this, and we will have a class here So bg will be blue 500, and padding x3, padding y1. So we'll have a flags items like this. Now what we'll have is we'll have text white, just increase py 0.5. So this one will be the height of the screen, so it will go down, I think around 95 VH. Screen, can I do this? So it's full, and we'll just make it double full. Yeah, right. So we'll have some padding and the main px-4, and we'll have a border here. border gray 500. So it will be the margin x. Nope. We'll just have in the body. Just just like this. So it will be 93 pH like this. So it will look like this, and we'll have a background to something like pitch gray 200 here. That is good. So like this. Let's increase a bit the padding to 1. It will be, I think, 7 pixels. Check 7 pixels. Right. So here we have this. Now can set some placeholders here. Send a message. So it will have px2 2. Right. So now what we can have, just decrease to 90 VH. 92. So now what we can have, visual, right? So now what we can have, I'll just move it to here. So now we'll just design a something like here, and a something like message like here to both side. So here, so sent message will be this one. Why so much gap? This is the send message. So we'll have a div. Here we'll just show the name, and we'll just show the actual message, and here we'll have the time like something like 25, 26, 01, 04. So something like this. So we have to design this component, right? So now what we can have, it will just move, the send will be in the right, so it will just go to float, right? So it will have it here. There are some paddings, px test2 have some padding. We'll set the background to, if it is sand, we'll set just the blue 400. Have some padding, 2x by-1. Like this. We'll just set the margin y to 4 and be text white, just with 600, a bit rounded. The flex call. Text right. Still not really busy, sorry, I was selecting this. So now what we can have is, we'll just make this one text lead. Do we have this kind? Gray 500, text sm. Aha, so it should be nearly 200, like this. So Laravel, aha, so it's maximum, max width will be 600 pixels, like this. So I will just make it look better. So text gray 50, text md. Text sm. So we'll have just have something gap to have a gap, something like this. So be font medium, like to be like John. So I think for now it's good. So we'll just show this kind of message if it's sent and if it's received. So if it's received, it will not be in the right. So it will be on float left. So we can do like this. Just call it here. We can have a flex, justify int double full, and we instead of right we can do just like this, right? So we can have the same like this, and instead of here can have the justify start. Oh, but the text will not be in the right, so it's in the normal one, right? So this is the something like the chat one, but its color should not be blue, so it should be something like gray. And text will be something black. Each good. Let's just create 500. So this will be the chat interface. Now just we can duplicate this some more times and look like this. Can have something like this, right? So our design is almost completed, but it should be overflow y scroll and right overflow hidden. So be the auto mode. So if the content is more, so we should only do like this, right? So it's good for now. Just revert some of things. So this is our chat interface. Now we have to implement the socket part, right? So let's create some of the events for that, and let's write some of the JavaScript code to connect to the socket, front end to the socket. So let's just create a JavaScript file here, chat.js. So don't need test.css, so we'll just throw it away, and we'll just call the script. So it will the chat.css. So let me just try if it's printed or not. So it's being loaded. So now we can test this. So I think socket have new WebSocket in the URL. You can just call it to 6001, right? So let's try. So it's being connected. You can also see it here, WebSocket client identified, right? So I can get some of the events like socket on that I have event listener open, call the events. So log event, this will log socket each connected. Take my info. Yeah, so this one, the socket is connected. Now what we can do is on message just call the event listener message, and we will have a function handle event. So it will just have the event, and we'll just log the event. So on message we'll just call the handle event function. So right, so now nothing is being printed as we haven't sent anything to the client. So let's write an event that sends a welcome message on initial connection. So now what we can do is we can just create another controller, something like chat controller. So it's now, so let's also create another file welcome controller. So this will extend the socket controller, right? So public function on connect, so we'll just return void. So we have string client id here. So we have attribute the onConnect. So the onConnect attribute will be called after the initial handshaking, right? So after the handshaking is being completed, so it will search for all the functions where it is bounded with the onConnect and call that function. So onConnect, what we can do is we can directly emit the client with the connection message, and we'll just set the message, just make it connected, and message will be welcome to our chat app, and we'll just return the client id to client id. So we have to register the controller here. So welcome controller, similarly you can register the chat controller. So now what we can do is in connect it will just emit the connected event, and the front end will just log it, right? So let's restart the server. Sorry, invalid controller class chat controller. So it's calling invalid as it hasn't extended the Sockeon controller, socket controller. So now it should work. So right, so unconnected, it is sending a message like this. So the event is connected and data is welcome to our chat. So now what we can do in the chat.js, So we can just switch according to the event, right? So we can create several functions for that, like we can create a function for handle connection connected event. So our event is connected, so we can create a function for handle connected event, just receive data, and we'll just log the data. So we'll just, if the cache is connected, we'll just call the handle connected event, and we'll just pass the event dot data here, just break it here. So in the default we'll just send a log that event is not handled. So can do event dot event is not handled. So warning. So if we try here, so event undefined is not handled. So what is this? Is it like this? Can I just log event dot event? It's undefined. If we log event, so if I try to do the event dot data, so we have to do something like JSON dot parse event dot data. So it will just contain the data, and it will just contain data dot event, and it will have data. So the socket is connected, and as you can see here, we have our message that welcome to our chat app, and the client ID is this, right? So now it's connected. So we have to, similarly we have to create more events, and we have to create listeners for the more events in the front end too, right? So now in the chat controller I can create an event called send message, and it will just broadcast the message to other person in the chat. So now what we can do is we can create a function handle send message event. So you can create a function like this, handle send message event. So it will contain the client ID, and another parameter is the data, just return void. So we can bind it with the event like this. So we have attribute called Sockeon. So the parameter will be the event name. So event name will be send dot message, right? So on send dot message, if anyone triggers send dot message, it will just broadcast the message with everyone. So now what we can do is we will just, for now we'll just broadcast the message dot received. So we'll broadcast an event named message dot received, and data will be data inside message. So the front end will send the message inside the message key. So we'll and triggers the event send message. So the server will just call the handle send message event, and just broadcast that message to everyone as event named message dot received. And you can just return message, just return data, right? So this is now. Let's restart the server and just I'll close all the tabs and the index.html. So I will just add an ID here, send message btn. So I'll just listen for that in here. So document dot so const send message, what will be the document dot document dot query selector, and will be the message send btn, and add event listener. So you can just make it form, so you can enter directly, right? So form, we don't need this, so we'll just make its type to submit, and we'll have the ID here, send message form. We'll have the send message form. So we'll add event listener submit. So on submit, we'll just call a function here. So log, and the message will be I think I can just call this message as the ID of that one is message, so we can just directly call this one, I think. Let me try. So if I press this and press enter, so it's been refreshed. So what we have to do is we just have to do event dot prevent default, right? So yeah, so if the ID matches, we can directly use it as a variable in the JavaScript. So now what we can do is we have the message is as message.value, right? So we write this, so it will just, you can see here, it will just log it here. Now what we have to do is we have to emit the event to the Sockeon server, then it will broadcast it to others, right? So now what we can do is, instead of logging it, we'll just call a function here, send message. So the send message will not take two parameters, that is event, and another parameter is the data. So as the Sockeon server receives in this format, so it's received is like this, event name, and in the data we'll have like this. So this is the format of the Sockeon server. We have to send the data like this. So we'll just call a emit, just call it emit, and it will take a event and it will take data. So it will just socket dot, I think, send, and it will send. So we have to first build the JSON like this. So event, and it will be the data. So just JSON dot stringify the JSON, can call like this, right? So let me test it. So instead of logging this value, we can directly call the emit function, and we can call it send the message is the event, and data will be message dot message. message will be message dot value. So let me try this. So if I go to the network tab and just check the messages, so if I try to enter hello, so the send message is being sent, and the message received is being broadcasted to this one. So I can try this like this. I can simply copy this, copy this URL and just inspect in the network tab. We have here similarly so I think we have to do this, and what we can have is network tab similarly. Now what we can have is, if I just send the hello, so both will receive the data, right? So it is sending the event as send.message, and the server is broadcasting to all the users connected to the server, not just this room, but it will broadcast to everyone who is connected to the socket. So for now it's okay, so as we don't have the room feature now. So now what you can do, we can just print this message here, right? So we are not saving it in our databases, so for now we'll just show it in the DOM. So if someone refresh, then the data is lost. So now what we can do is, I can just make it the full screen, and now I have to add another listener for handle received message received. So it will be the data, and if it's the message dot received event, will just call handle received and pass the data with data. We'll just break it here, right? So we'll just log it for now, log data. So if I try to send a message, so it will just show like it will broadcast it to everyone. So we have to show the message to the user. So in the backend, what we have to do is, we have to append the client ID. So currently we don't have any name of the user, so we'll just show the client ID as the username, and we have to attach time to, right? So we can just have here the message will be the data message, and the username will be the this client ID, and the timestamps will be, I can think we can use the time. We can just use the date functions in YMD HIS format or something, any format, YMD HIS format. So we'll just use this. So now the server will broadcast message along with the username and the timestamps. So let me try restarting the server. Now if I send a message, so it will broadcast like this. It will have the message, it will have the timestamps, and it will have the username like this. So we have to render the JSON data now into the DOM. So for that we have to go it here. So we just have to take this one, so it will have an ID to chat, and it will just have to So now we need another parameter too. So it is sent by him or it is just received by him. So for that we don't have any direct functions. So now what we can have, we can just loop through each users. So can we have get all clients, right? So we have get all client function. It will provide us all the clients. So what we can have is we can have users equal to get all clients. So it, instead of broadcasting, so we'll personally emit one by one. So users as user, and we'll just, instead of this one, we'll just do emit. So it will be the client user. We'll just load like this, and each me parameter will be true if the user is equal to client ID. So if someone send message and while broadcasting, if that client ID and the user ID matches, then it's sent by him. So otherwise it's become false. So like this. So if I send something, so it is sent by me, so it will be each me true. So in the similar format, if I try it here, so it each me is false and here each me is true, right? So you can see it. So it is sent by him, so each me will true and each me will be false here. So now based on the each me parameter, we will determine if we have to append it here or we will append it here. So now in the chat.js, what we have to do is we have to just append it here accordingly. So now can I just, this is the send message one, can I just copy this and I will just create a function and render sent message. So it will contain three things. It will contain a name, it will contain a username, it will contain a message, it will contain timestamps. Just do like this, and we'll just return like this. So here in the name it will just print the username, and the message it will just print the message, and in the timestamps it will just print the timestamps. Similarly, we need a function for render received message. In the same format, we will just received message, so it will just return our the received message UI. You can just do it like this, and in this place it will just have the username. In this place we will just have the message, and here we will have the timestamps, right? So now if the data dot each me, so I think each me, then can I do like this? So we have message, we have username, and we have timestamps and each me. So if we have each me, we'll call the render sent message, and it will be the username, it will be the message, and it will be the timestamps. Else we'll just render username, message, and timestamps. So now instead of returning this, we can just append inside that. So what we can do is const chat section will be document dot query selector, and it will be the chat. Instead of returning it, we can do chat section dot inner HTML will be this. Similarly, you can do it here. So initially it will be empty. So if I try to send message hello, so it will be shown like this. You can saw this is the username, this is the message, as in this is the timestamps. So I can do like this now. Similarly, I can do like this. So if I send hello here, it will be received by it, right? So, and if I send hi, how are you, so this will receive by this. So this is the basic chat app created using Sockeon. So I've just created some of the events, like event for the chat controller, that is the send message, and another event is just the welcome message. It doesn't have any use case, so just for logging. So another, we have the static controller, where if just have the static file renderer. So this we have done it, right? So if more users also came, it will be the same, right? So we haven't implemented typing type of thing, so we can implement that too. So so now what we can do is when the user is connected, you can have something like system message. Sorry. So we can have something like text center, and it will be text gray 500. So we'll have a strong tag, I will call system, and we'll have a message, someone has joined the chat. So how it looks, let me check. So someone had joined the chat, right? So just add some margin paddings here. We'll just make it italic, right? So if someone had joined the chat, it will show like this. So we have to make like this. So similarly, we have to copy this, and in the chat.js, you can just call render system message. So it will just have a message parameter, so it will just have it here. Similarly, we will do like this. So it will be the class. So you will have the message here. Now what we can have in when it is connected is someone is connected, we will just call render system message, and when you connected we have the client ID, right? So just have a message and client ID, message the client ID. I think we have like this. So someone can do like this. So it's a message, so client ID has joined the chat. So you can do like this. So initially it will, if it is joined, it will show like this, I joined the chat. If I do some refresh, so it should show to everyone. So instead of it adding it to connected one, so we'll learn we'll just broadcast it to everyone. So we don't need the event. So like this, it will show like this. So if someone is connected, so it will show a system message that someone has joined the chat like this. So if I try to send now a message, so it will show like this, hi. So we have implemented a system connected message to show to all the users. So similarly we can implement a typing indicator, right? So now what we can do is you can have another event socket on message dot typing. So you can call it message dot typing to start. So public function handle message typing start event. So we'll contain the string client ID, and it will contain the data. So similarly we need another event to tell if it has stopped the typing. Stop. So it will be stop. So we will broadcast it to everyone except that user. So if the user will be equal to the client ID, so we'll just continue. Sorry, just continue. So it will be this message dot typing the start dot received, CEIVET received. So here we will just have the client ID who is typing, right? So client ID, and will be the client ID. So like this. So similarly for this one, we'll just set void stop dot received. So we have implemented two more events for the typing start and for the typing end. So now what we need is in the chat.js we will need another cases. So one will be this one. Just break. So another one will be stopped one. Stop. So like this. So now what we have to do, if the user is typing, we have to send some message, right? So for that we need this one. So if here message will be documented query selector, and it will be the message. If message dot add event listener, so I think on key down, key up or down, just let me try it. So log, I will just log typing. So if I try it here, so nothing work on. Oh sorry, it will be just key down, right? So it will be the typing. So if it's typing, we have to send the typing event to the server. Just emit the event will be the what you have to fire. So message.typing.start, and don't have to send anything. Similarly, how can we know if it's typing or not? So can we have just a set timeout? So it will contain a function, right? So if just set up to 2 seconds like this. So let me check JS on time out call a callback function. So can we simply stop, and we'll simply call it here. So on anyone do key down, then we have to just send a start one. So after 2 seconds it will send stop. Let me try. So sorry, so here we need something to show someone is typing. So I need a div span someone is typing. Oh, it will be 90. So px3 text gray 300 text sm. So can I do pdes2? If someone is typing, we can show like this. So we'll just make the background similar to that. Right, so it will show someone is typing in the italic format, right? So now I have to id something. It's the typing indicator. So left just like this. I to 6 pixels. So if there is text, what the heck? Sorry. So can't we have the height of something? We can't have. Just for now we'll do like this. So let me try it. So we have to create 2 new functions. Const handle what the event we have message typing start received. Message typing start received. And we'll need another function typing stop received. We'll have a client ID. Right, we'd have a client ID, right? Yeah, we'll have a client ID. Similarly, we'll have a client ID here. So const, so typing indicator, it will be document dot query selector typing indicator. Typing indicator dot inner HTML will be in the iTech. So it will be client ID is typing, and similarly here it will be nothing, simply like this. Handle start received data, and similarly we will have stop received. Sorry. So can I have, so I have to restart the server. Someone is typing after 2 seconds, it's been hidden, right? So if I do something like this, so I think the set time mode is, if the set time mode is already present, we have to clear the timeout. So we have to globally declare, so typing set timeout mode will be null. So let me comment it null, let, so it will be typing indicators have timeout is equal to this. If typing indicator set timeout is present, then we have to first clear it. How to clear it? So can I search it? Stop set timeout. Can I do this? Clear timeout. So to set this one, we can just call clear timeout and we'll set the typing timeout. So can do like this. So if the timing set time is already present, so we have to clear it first, then we have to do other things. So let me try it now. So I'm not even trying. So hello. So I'm trying to type, so it's working properly. So if I wait for 2 seconds, so it will be like this. So if I send a message like this, so I have to just emit the stop typing, right? So if you press the enter, it's no use of showing the timeout, right? So like this. So if I showing this, so in on enter, it will just clear the message that is typing. So I think we are good. So we have created a basic chat application, so where anyone can come and chat without any authentication and stops. So we have also integrated the system message, that is connected one, and also integrated the typing indicator. So I think this is for today. So I think tomorrow we'll be implementing authentication to this chat feature. So we'll be having some databases like SQLite or something, and we'll just create users, create a register page, create login page, and we'll have users, and the message will be stored in database, right? So for today, I will just push it in GitHub. So now what it can have each. So getting it. So we don't have to push dot idea, right? So git dot git commit minus m, add initial what to initial, so add shell flow just create chat page and chat page static assets loader and chat events, something like that. Git branch main git remote at origin show origin main. So now just create a readme md chat app using Sockeon library. Sorry. So start server will be PHP src slash server.php. So references will be one will be like this. So we'll just have the reference in the last. I'll just write installation. Installation. So we'll have clone the repo. Compose install dependencies, and we'll have the on the server. So similarly we'll have it here. Like this. So git clone. So git clone this one. cd chat app. Just composure install and just do this. So we'll just dot git status git commit minus m add installation docs. good now. So I think this is much for today. So we'll be continuing creating this app tomorrow. So bye everyone, good night.